Welcome to Newsroom. I'm Chella Smith, bringing you the latest on reforms and economics, your Middle East, U.S. entertainment news. I'm here every Friday on YouTube. If you subscribe, you'll get my early release times and notifications when my videos drop. Here in the U.S., many families just celebrated Thanksgiving. My belly is stuffed from all the Thanksgiving dishes and leftovers. I hope you and your family had a wonderful holiday. Let's get right into the updates as we've been waiting to find out some of the election results. Let's see what the week had to say. Shafak News Saturday reported the president of the Kyrgyzstan regional government, Maujer Barzani, met Saturday with the U.S. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin in Bahrainian capital, indicating that the U.S. Secretary of Defense referred with great respect and appreciation to the influential role and important position of President Maujer Barzani in the Kyrgyzstan region and Iraq. According to the statement, Austin stressed that the Kyrgyzstan region is an important ally and partner of the United States in the region, explaining that he renewed America's commitment to continue supporting the Kyrgyzstan region, especially the Peshmerga forces in confronting ISIS. The president of the Kyrgyzstan region government thanked America for its continued support and stressed the importance of solving the outstanding problems between the Kyrgyzstan region and the federal government, pointing out the need for security coordination in the Kyrgyz region outside the administration of the region. Two sides discussed the strategic dialogue between America and Iraq and the importance of implementing the Sinjar Agreement. In the substantial statement, he refers to the Prime Minister of the Kyrgyz regional government, Maujer Barzani, who also met today with White House Coordinator for the Middle East and North Africa, Brett McCurk, in the Bahrainian capital. At the meeting, the latest development in the region and the general situation in Iraq after the legislative elections were discussed, as well as a way to strengthen relations between the Kyrgyzstan region and America. The two sides also stressed the importance of enhancing coordination and cooperation in order to achieve security and stability in Iraq and the region. And then, according to Baghdad Ops List, the Joint Operations Command revealed Sunday, November 21st, who will remain the foreign forces after the date of December 31st. The operations spokesman, Major General Al-Ghafari, told the media who will confirmed that the presence of forces of international coalition will not be extended. He added all combat forces will leave and all those who remain are experts and trainers, whose numbers are few. In addition to advisors in the field of drones and intelligence, Al-Ghafari said the exit of combat forces will not affect the security of the country because Iraq forces are able to bear the responsibility of fighting ISIS and all that Iraqi needs in the fields of intelligence and aviation. And we do not need any forces for combat missions. It is noteworthy that Iraq and the United States agreed last July, during the fourth and final round of strategic dialogue, to withdraw all American combat forces from Iraq by the end of this year. A joint statement at the time stated that the security relationship between the two countries will move entirely to advice, training, and intelligence cooperation, and there will no longer be presence of U.S. combat forces in Iraq. Since 2014, America has held an international coalition to combat ISIS, which took a third of the area of Iraq at the time, and has deployed about 3,000 soldiers to the coalition, including 2,500 Americans. And according to The Independent, the fifth economic forum of Iraqi Alliance for Transparency is attractive industries discuss the reality of transitioning towards clean energy and the role of oil licensing contracts in developing the oil sector. Allowance member Ali Naima said that the forum is held periodically in order to shed light on the most important sectors in Iraq, as it provides the federal budget with more than 90% of its revenues. He pointed out that Iraq is seeking a transition towards clean energy in line with global trends, especially after joining the Paris Climate Agreement, pointing out that the trend needs to make a decision that advances the infrastructure for the development of clean energy. Deem pointed out that the delay in gas investments by oil companies came as a result of the lack of profits that drive from that, which results in failure to invest associated gas, despite the existence of clause for investments in oil contracts since the second licensing round. The conference dealt with three axes. The first is taking the path of energy transformation. Second, impact on Iraq. And the other topic is the prospects for development in the state public budget up to the investment contracts in the field of energy and transparency in Iraq. Shafak News then reports the Iraqi drilling company signed Friday today a partnership contract and a joint submission agreement with Schlumberger International. The Director General of the Iraqi drilling company, Bazin Karim, said in a statement that the contracts include providing support for the implementation of drilling and reclamation projects in the turnkey manner for the benefits of international companies operating Iraqi oil fields. He pointed out that the international companies transferred expertise and modern technology to develop the country's employee and upgrade the oil service sector in order to keep pace with the industrial development process in the fields of oil and gas in the world, explaining the importance of cooperation with sober international companies to improve and develop performance, especially in the process of developing and implementing drilling and reclamation. Economic Reports Alfred News reported the International Monetary Fund expected that Iraq will achieve the highest economic growth among the Gulf countries during this year. The fund said in a schedule that it is expected that Iraq will achieve economic growth for the year 2021 that is higher than the rest of the oil-rich Gulf countries by 3.6%, adding that the economic growth of the Gulf countries and the countries neighboring Iraq will witness unevenness, noting that it is expected that Saudi Arabia will witness an economic growth of 2.8%. Oman will witness an economic growth of 2.5%. Qatar will witness an economic growth of 1.9%. Kuwait will witness an economic growth of 0.9%, and the UAE is experiencing economic growth of 2.2%. Also adding that Jordan is expecting to witness an economic growth of 2%, Iran an economic growth of 2.5%, and Turkey an economic growth of 9%, noting that Yemen will witness a decline in economic growth for the year 2021 by 2%. Economic Alfred News also reported Rafidain Bank has set the interest rates for savings accounts and fixed deposits for citizens who deposit their money in the banks. The media office said in a statement that the banks announced granting the interest rates of savings accounts to 4% to citizens in return for depositing their money within the banks. The statement indicated that the banks granted the interest rates on fixed deposits for a period of 6 months to be 4.5% and the interest rate on fixed deposits for a period of time to be 5%, in addition to determining the interest rate on deposits for a period of 2 years to become 5.5% if the amount deposit is less than 50 million and 6% if the amount is more than 50 million dinars. The statement called on citizens who wish to open savings accounts to review its branches in Baghdad and the Providence, bringing in with them the identification documents. Economy News Baghdad, the Central Bank of Iraq, announced Monday that it has started activating self-management for foreign reserves. The central bank stated activating tools for direct communication and negotiation with clients and external correspondence on Bloomberg and Refinitiv, FXALL, RFQ platforms. He added that this is a stimulation of the latest global developments in using the best executive tools for managing and investing foreign reserves in order to achieve the best returns in trading and in investment operations. Economic Alfred News, the Finance Minister Ali Alahi said that the international community supported the adjustment of the dollar exchange rate against the dinar. Alahi said in a press statement that the change in exchange rate prevented thousands of layoffs of employees, noting that the change in the exchange rate helped protect the reserves of the central bank and provide job opportunities in the market. Alahi warned that the reimbursement of value of the dinar will have the opposite effect. He revealed that the 2022 budget will provide an opportunity to strengthen the social protection network, noting that the positive effects of the currency adjustments are beginning to appear. Getting into some election news, Baghdad obelisk. The Electoral Commission confirmed Wednesday, November 24th, 2021, that the process of recounting and counting votes of stations recounted by the decisions of the judiciary match the electronic counting in the governance and Dakar, Baghdad, Najaf, and Muthana, while indicating that there is only one step left before announcing the names of the winners of the election, represented by the decision of the Commission for 15 appeals. The votes were recounted on a basis of it, and it was said it will not be delayed. Shafak News reported the Satirist movement leader Muqtada al-Sadr calls Friday to reveal the result of the investigation into targeting the house of the Prime Minister Mustafa al-Kazimi, which the Iraqi authorities considered an attempt to assassinate him. Al-Sadr said in a statement, "What should be overlooked is the prestige of state, and the attack on the Prime Minister's house is a clear and flagrant violation of sovereignty and prestige, and it stirs up the sedation and destabilizes the security of Iraq as a whole." He said, and from here it became necessary to reveal the open, and I mean to reveal the investigation into the files, to arrest the terrorists who carried out this horrendous terrorist attack, and to impose the appropriate punishment on them. Al-Sadr also pointed out, with this not being disclosed, we may have to reveal it in the future. On Wednesday, November 24th, the private sector sources revealed to Shafak News Agency the arrest of the Director of Explosive Control in the Ministry of Interior against the background of investigation into the attempt assassination of Prime Minister Mustafa al-Kazimi. Security sources said that the arrest came due to the detonation of one of the exploded that were found on al-Kazimi's house and charges of misleading the investigation committee. The house of the Prime Minister Mustafa al-Kazimi was targeted and dawn of the 7th of November by drones, one of which fell in the courtyard of the house, and security forces managed to shoot down 2 other planes that were on their way to target the house. Shafak News reports the Satirist movement led by Muqtada al-Sadr on Wednesday that is moving towards forming a national majority government, noting that the majority needs parliament to pass government is almost settled. The leader in the movement, Islam Hassan, told Shafak News Agency that the Satirist movement is moving towards forming a government of national majority, and it has been working so far in the direction and quietly, adding that it will become clear in the next stages the alliance reached by the movement. But after the election results are approved by the Federal Supreme Court, Hassan revealed that the Satirist movement is close to the elective and influential Kurdish force, as it's close to the Alliance of Progress and many other political forces that won the early parliamentary elections. He added, "This is why the issue of forming a national majority government is almost settled, and it may see the light in the near future." The Satirist bloc topped the results of the early parliamentary elections that took place on October 10th and seeks to form a majority government aimed rejection of the rest of the Shiite forces that want to form a consensus government similar to the previous government. Shafak News, the Independent High Electoral Commission announced yesterday the end of manual counting and recounting at the request of forced objections to the parliamentary results. The commission stated in a statement that it had completed yesterday the last station of Nineveh governments based on the decisions of the Judiciary Commission for Elections and its presence of representatives of the contesting candidates, international observers, and authorized media personnel. Jenny stated that the results of the current manual counting and sorting was 100% identical with the results of the electronic counting and sorting, and the Form Committee presented its reports to Board of Commissioners, which recommended sending the results to the Judiciary Commission for Elections. And there's been 0 reports today of any of the final results, so we will wait till next week to hear more about those final decisions. What's going on right now in the Middle East. That's it for this week's Newsroom Weekly Review, your Middle East U.S. entertainment news on reforms and economics. I try to bring you all the Iraqi news without having to keep up with all the different outlets. I'm Chella Smith. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you like my content, give me a thumbs up. I will see you all next Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific here on YouTube for your next Newsroom update. Again, shout out to Currency 365 for his continued support. If you want to learn about stocks and cryptos, I highly recommend joining him and his crew for the most recent updates. You can find him on YouTube or Patreon. This week, I'll be getting my Christmas decor out. I'm super excited. Thank you guys again for joining me. Have a fantastic weekend, and I'm signing off. Make sure you join us Fridays, 4 p.m. with Newsroom Updates with Chella Smith, Entertainment News. And don't forget us on Sundays for What's Cooking in the Kitchen. You can also find us behind the scenes 24/7 on Snapchat.